Hey there, viewers. Welcome back to the Southman Auto Channel. That's a 16 Dodge Charger. How's that? I think it's got the big 3.6 in it. It's here because the ABS Trac light is on. It's also here because the tail lights don't work, or at least two of the tail lights. The right side works, the plate light works, but nothing on the left side or that center tailgate. So this has that LED assembly across it. So we got to check that out. I don't know if they're related, but that's what it's here for. Give you the rundown here. I've got the Autel plugged in and scanning, so I turn the marker lights on. We'll come back here to the back. Now we don't have, oh, you see it just blinked? That one down there, that tail light there, that one in the middle that just blinked, and then this one works, and the plate light works. But I did notice last time I turned them on, it did this also. They just kind of flickered a couple, 2-3 times. And then that was that. And then of course ABS and traction light is on, which, you know, that's that. So I let her go through a system scan here. So let's see, because those lights are controlled by the body module. BCM does have 2 codes in it, so let's go to the report here and see if there's anything worth looking at. Right rear speed signal failure for the ABS, so that's good to know. And the body control module, left tail lamp 1 control circuit shorted to ground. And that is an active code. And then his TPMS light is on also because he doesn't have any sensors in it. Okay, and then a bunch of codes and stuff that we don't really care about, because what we're here to fix is ABS. So we need to look at this right rear speed sensor. Probably the magnet has fallen off the bearing, which is pretty common. And then we're going to look at this left tail lamp control circuit shorted to ground. Now, one thing to note before we even get into this is this vehicle is a dirt road driver. So this guy lives on a dirt road. It's 5-6 years old in New York, so that's a lot of dirt and a lot of salt. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to come across some corrosion. And now comes the boring part. So we got to look at this code. What was it? A B16D7-11. That's our code. If we don't know how this system works, we can't fix it. So, you know, we've said that a million times. And it indicates that the driver circuit is shorted, and we go to the description or theory in operation. It says when the body module receives an input from the headlight switch, so when we turn on the park lights, requesting park lamp illumination, the body control module provides a voltage output through the park lamp driver and license plate lamp circuits to the tail lamp assemblies and license plate lights. A ground path for the park lamps is present through the harness to the body sheet metal. So that's the theory in operation. What does it take to set the code? When the body control module detects greater than 1.2 amps on the left rear park driver circuit, 4 retry attempts have failed. So that is probably when we see this 4 retry attempts have failed, that's probably when we see it flicker on, which is a good thing because that tells us that the BCM is trying to turn it on, and likely there is a high current draw. That's my guess. It's monitored continuously. Monitored ignition on, and when you turn the park lamps are on, and then the action taken, it shuts the park lamps off. Left tail lamp assembly, center tail lamp assembly, left rear side marker lamp. So this is, so that left driver circuit must feed the left tail light, the center light, the left rear side light. So that's interesting. And then the right driver must feed just the right side. So that's interesting. Here is a diagram for us. Let's see here, left rear park lamp driver. So it's going to be this wire, white with gray, right? That's the stop, right. Yeah, so left park lamp driver. So that comes down, white with light gray feeds this one, and this one. So there's 3 items here. Center tail lamp, left side marker, left rear, and then something else, left tail light assembly. So exactly as it says. I'm going to tell you where my gut's going to take us, because I know this is a dirt road driver. It's taking me to this little guy. Although I did see that flicker though. That's interesting. I did see all of them flicker. I say, what do we say? We got to take a guess at something here, folks. Not necessarily a guess, but we got to plan to work and work the plan. Isn't that what we say? So my approach to this would be, Obviously the PCM, or not the PCM, the BCM body control module is seen as short on this circuit. It's seeing too much current draw and it's shutting it off. I haven't looked in data. I don't know if it displays the amount of current each light is drawing or the total circuit. I guess it's neither here nor there. At this point, what I would do is, how accessible are the lights? Can we unplug them? Can we unplug that one and that one and that one? And does that code disappear? Does it turn to an open circuit code? I don't know. But we need to start exposing the circuit, and we need to come up with the most logical explanation. Being that we know it's a dirt road car, we're probably dealing with corrosion, but we could be dealing with a wire that's rubbed through and indeed is shorted to ground. But I say we go with this tactic first. Let's look at that light because we've got to get to it anyways. So let's go to the most likely culprit. Let's look at it, see if it's green and crusty and nasty, because that one is probably, I think that's probably an incandescent bulb. I don't know. It may be an LED assembly, but we gotta get to them anyways, because ultimately, if that's not it, we've got to unplug the other two. So I say we do that. I think this may actually be LED. The other side, it's pretty dang bright for being an incandescent bulb. Plus, I'm thinking the 1.2 amps would be a little bit too low. Because a regular 194 is going to draw about 300 milliamps. Not sure how to get to this sucker, but we're going to see if we can't just take a quick peek through here. Hopefully. Take out some of these. Almost not as flashy as I thought. I don't know if there's a plug on there or not. Baby. Let me get some more stuff out of the way here, folks. Connector's a bit of a pisser. See if I can't get a pick behind it. There, baby. Any lights come on? Alright, it's getting lights kick on. We did unplug it, just like I say we had to it. Ooh. She is looking pretty brown in the female half of the connector here. It does look pretty nasty up in, I don't even know if you guys can see. Let me, one fastener up on top of this fender liner. I can't see how it comes out, so I only took the plastic clips out of it. But let's have a little gander up in here, the best we can see in our mirror. Yeah, inside, you know what? I think I might see your problem, lady. Is this connector? Oh no, it's not burnt through. No, it's just looking super nasty. I tell you what, I don't know. Let me unzoom you here. I'll tell you what I don't know. Even though I have the marker lights on, is what I don't know is if, well, it said after the fourth attempt it shut it off. So I say with this unplugged, we'll leave this out. Let's shut the marker lights off and back on and see if they stay on. Because that connector is pretty corroded in the pins. I doubt it's drawn, you know, over an amp just across itself. If that's not the problem, it's gonna be. Oops. Here I should kill because I don't know what the process here is. Back in the run position. Come on, guys, back in. Squeeze back out of there. Hey, well, you know what he say, huh? She's lit up like a Christmas tree now. Like a red Christmas tree. Look at that. We got lucky, folks. Logical deduction. Your problem's there, lady. You need a new light and connector. Well, being that was pretty easy, let's continue on. I guess we'll look at this wheel speed issue. So I've got both wheel speed sensors pulled up here. I'm going to move the left rear wheel. This is the one that supposedly still works. Barely moves here, but the brakes are a little rusty. We can see that one works. You know, herky-jerky, but that's me. And then we'll move the right side, which I think was moving at the same time. Yep, so there's no signal here on the right rear. Chrysler is super handy because they put both of our connectors right side by side, so that makes it great. These are active wheel speed sensors and can be a little tricky to test if you don't know the circuit design, and active wheel speed sensors can be a pain because when it sets a circuit code, sometimes some manufacturers shut the voltage off that goes to the wheel that set the code. So that can be a huge pain and send you on a wild goose chase. Let's say you're checking for, you know, the 11 volts here or 12, whatever this system works with, and it's not there. You might go chasing it down like, hey, I'm onto something, but lo and behold, when it sets a code, it shuts the circuit off. So I don't, without even looking at theory and operation, the easiest thing to do is we're just gonna swap left and right, make sure the wiring from here, because we have one good speed sensor, if that makes sense. We know this left side works. So if we just hook that to the right side, turn that left wheel, if the ABS module sees the signal and it shows up on our scan tool, everybody's happy. We know the wiring from here to the module is good, and our problem is either the sensor or the magnetic ring on the axle shaft. What would be really sweet is if these connectors plugged into each other, but I doubt that they will. So I'm going to work on getting these the red locks out here. We'll work on getting each one unplugged, and then we'll probably have to use some jumper wires, which is not a big deal, to get it to the other side. So there's that one. Make sure we've got no corrosion. Everything looks clean and green there. And then, like I say, we'll get this other one unhooked. As long as you're following along with me, it'd be really nice if we could just plug it in. But I highly doubt they made these connectors the same. They're two different colors even. Bing. Alright, so we heard it just set another code because the dinger went off inside. But like I say, I doubt that these are the same. Yeah, no, this one has this side here has a locator tab on it. So let's get our AES Wave U-Test kit. We'll get a jumper harness. We'll just jumper it from the good side to the suspect bad side. Let's see, this was the female end. Now, one thing I will make you aware of is this doesn't always work sometimes either. I think it's Toyota. If you're doing this, you have to cycle the key, you have to clear the code, cycle the key, and then you have to wait a fair amount of time for the system to reset. That can also send you on a wild goose chase. Just when you think you're onto something. So be ye warned. And also, some of these are polarity sensitive, so make sure you're putting them in the connector from the male and female half the same way in which they would plug in, you know, as far as the latch tab. So some of this stuff can get a little confusing, but you know, just use some logic here, folks, and I think you'll be okay. Or what I say, fake it till you make it, right? Let's grab a jumper wire. We have two jumper wires. We'll bring that one up there. We'll bring this one up here. And then let's see, we're gonna hook the red one on the latch side, just in case it is how I say it is, and then we'll hook the black one on the inside here, black one to there. All right, now without clearing codes, let me get you guys spun around. Actually, let me just turn this left wheel. Hold on, bear with me, folks. Hey, look at that, we don't even have to clear codes on this one. This is the case of sometimes, but not always. So now I'm turning the left wheel the best I can with the brakes in the condition they are, and you can see the signal is being received on the right side, so that's good. That tells us the module's good, the wiring's good. We've just narrowed down the problem to just a little bit of the car here. So that's the quick and dirty way, folks. But like I say, lots of variables to that: code clearing, key cycles, making sure the polarity is correct. Active wheel speed sensors are a little different than your, what are they, magneto-resistive or your permanent magnet generator type, AC pulse, or whatever you want to call them, I guess. The old school style ABS sensors. So there's that. We're going to leave this one unplugged because now we need to determine, do we have a bad wheel speed sensor or do we have a broken magnet? Over here in the People's Republic of New York, it could be either or. Bad sensor, bad magnet. I see bad magnets more often than not, so we're going to try to loosen up this axle and push it out where we can actually see it. You can't see it from underneath. I take it, but you can see it from underneath, but you've got to push the axle in first. gonna stick this up here just to hold the axle in for us. So it's a little easier to see. Hopefully this pushes out far enough so we can see the magnet. Oh baby! Oh, twice in a row. If not, it's a big fat waste of time, but hey, you never know. Let's have a little look-see. Guess what, baby? Let's see if I can get you guys up there. Let's see. Enhance. The magnet's MIA, folks. It's supposed to be on the outer edge of that CV axle. There she gone. That's there. I don't even see remnants of it up in there. But it's gone for sure. There she is. I did find it laying up in there. It was right tight up against the hub. Hard to show. I can show you what it looks like though. So this is the magnet that's supposed to be on the outside of the axle, which it's not, and you can just see all the rusty crusties on the inside, and it builds up to a point it finally splits. And then that's it. Now if this side's going, you know the other side's right behind it, but let's see what they want to do. To do a CV axle on these folks, I think we did another video on it. You don't pull all the knuckle and stuff off, you take the rear differential out. And to do that, you've got to take the exhaust off. So before we quote this lady, we've got to have a little look, because the exhaust has to come off to drop the axle, or to drop the rear differential out of it, to pop the axles out. And there's two bolts. These two bolts here are a son of a mother to get. That one there and that one there, and they're all Loctited. And they have a tendency to pull every damn thread out with them. So buttons on my underwear. I think she'll come apart. It's not too, she's not too rotted yet. But it ain't gonna be long, folks. It ain't gonna be long. Well, there you have it, folks. A couple of experienced logic-based lucky guesses. We're gonna need that light assembly there on the left rear of the bumper cover and the pigtail that goes with it. And then we're also gonna need the right-hand CV axle. So I'll give them a quote. Parts availability is looking pretty low as far as the axle goes, so it'll probably be a while. I don't know if we'll record this or not, but I think we already did a video on a charger putting the rear axles in it, so look for that, or maybe I can find the link for it. And then as far as the light, that's just gonna be a matter of, you know, soldering on a new plug, and you know, that's it. In the meantime, I'm gonna leave it unplugged, take a rubber glove, just stick it over the connector, zip tie it, and shove it back together, so that way there the fuzz doesn't pull them over every time they're out and about. And that's all I can tell you, folks. I want you to get out and about in that comment section. Tell me what it's all about. While you're down there, subscribe, the bell ringing, the Insty, the Facebook. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.